let us look at the topic of Bhakti as devotion to God. Yeah, Bhakti as devotion to God. Yeah. Now the various Shastras are written about Bhakti, and one is called Narada Bhakti Sutras. And there they give definition of Bhakti. Yeah, and even Bhagavatam also you'll find nice definitions of Bhakti. And it says Parama Prema Swarupa. What is Bhakti? Parama Prema Swarupa. It is of the nature of supreme love. That's what Bhakti is. Supreme love, or you can say love of the Supreme. Parama Prema can either mean love for the Supreme, Parame Prema, or supreme love, Parama Prema. Yeah. Now, love we all know. Love we know is a feeling of joy, attachment, a feeling of connection with something. Yeah. When we feel connected to something, we love that thing. Yeah. Whether people, whether objects, there's a feeling. Now, currently our love is for the world, outside, and for objects. We understand that. We also have some love for God. But currently we have lots of love and affection for this world. Now, what is the difference between love for the world and love for God? Both are emotions. However, one is when you take this emotion and it is directed towards the lower. So when our affection is directed towards the lower, it is then called love for the world. It's called sneha. They call sneha in some shastra, it's called sneha. Yeah? When the same emotion is directed towards higher, it's called prema. Yeah? So when affection directed down, sneha. Affection directed up, prema. That's why Parama Prema Swarupa, the nature of Bhakti, is that your affection goes towards God. It is to God. Yeah. As compared to the world. What's the difference? Why can't I love the world? Why do I have to love this God? Why he is so unloved, is he? That I have to love him? No one cares for him? What's the problem with him? Yeah. No, the difference is, in love, this is a funny yearning we have in love. In love, we inherently yearn for permanence. You cannot stop it. It is just something that's there. Inherently, we yearn for permanence. That means we want our object of love to always give us happiness and to always be available. This is the nature of love. It always has this inherent yearning that love should be constantly available and it should be constant. It should be constant. Yeah. And that love should be unconditional. That means it should not have any ulterior motives. That's why in this world, what we find is we love people, but then we get very hurt. And when do we get hurt? When these two factors are not met. One factor, consistency is not there. And the second factor, when there is ulterior motive. When ulterior motive comes in, we get very hurt. That person, I was just affectionate to you and friendly with you because you're in charge of the IT department and I needed help with IT. But actually, my birthday is coming up. I didn't plan to invite you because there's no IT involved in the birthday party. So, I didn't have that plan. But I thought we were good friends. What happened? Oh, no, our friendship is based on IT problems. When there's no IT problems, don't need to be friends. So people get hurt because they're excluded or they feel betrayed. Because then they feel that in that love and affection, there was motive, ulterior motive. So ulterior motive, it's called Maya. One word is called Maya or Hetu. Hetu means with a reason. Maya also means illusion. That means some sort of trick is going on. The other thing is consistency we want. It is not enough that if people love me one day and the next day they don't love me. That's not good enough. Every day you must love me. That's when children get up every day. They say, come on, give me a kiss on the cheek. And the children don't want to sometimes. They're like, we're not in the mood to talk to you. They're like, I am your father. Come on, give me a hug. Come on. I'm looking after you. We make whatever up we want. We just want a hug from that child. But it's not that the child doesn't want to hug us. But we want consistency. Consistency, santatana. Santatana is called consistency. So now if you look at these two factors of consistency and unconditional, can we get them from the world? Or can we only get them from God? Yeah? And this is what we look. And we realized, actually, because of these two factors, consistency and purity, or free of motivation, unconditional love, we can only get them from God, actually. This world is not capable. It is too much to ask the world. It's not to sit there and say, world is useless. We are asking too much of that world. That the world must consistently love me and unconditionally love me. Ayyo, it's too much. Too much. The world says, give me a break. I can't do this all the time, you know. I need my own space. I'm sure you're all experiencing that now, no? In lockdown, everyone, give me some space, you know. Even some parents have shared with me, they said, we love our children, but we also need space from them, you know. Like, I don't want to be around them the whole time. They the whole time are sitting on my leg the whole time and orbiting me. Looking for food in my pockets and money in my wallet. Don't know what they're looking for, but I also need a break from them. So, you see, we are not capable as Jiva. We are not capable of delivering this. Only Ishvara can deliver this. Jiva cannot. Because Jiva has always got karma. Karma, desire. Desire means hetu. That means it always has some thing that it's looking for. That means it always has a motivation. Jiva's got something it needs to get done. That's why love cannot be unconditional. Because the Jiva always has a condition. Because there's some agenda it needs to fulfill. That's the nature of being a Jiva. It doesn't make you a bad person, okay? Everyone has got this. Everyone has got this. Yeah? It's the nature of being Jiva that we have agenda. As long as we're Jiva, we have agenda. That's it. This agenda will hurt people at some point in time if they depend upon us for unconditional love. If those people want unconditional love from us, they will be disappointed. And then as Jiva, consistency is not possible because mind is chanchalam. Because mind is chanchalam, which means always changing, then Jiva will not be able to consistently give love. Can give love at times, but at times it also feels, I'm upset, I'm angry. I can't be happy the whole time and affectionate with you. I got my own moods I need to deal with. Yeah? Only Ishvara is above this. Ishvara and the Jivan Mukta, realized master. Because realized master, no karma. And realized master transcended his mind. Only these two people. Therefore, if I want love which is not going to disappoint me, then I should direct my love towards God. If I don't want to be disappointed. Okay? So now difference is, worldly love cannot deliver what I yearn for, but love for God can give me what I yearn for. It inherently has what I want. Yeah? Its nature is of that. And that's why in Bhagavatam at the start, it says, Savai pumso paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma samprasidati. The best dharma of man is to develop devotion. That's what man should do. Man, woman. We should develop devotion. Parama dharma. He said that is the best dharma. Paro dharmaha. That devotion for God, which should be of two types. Ahetuki, what I said, free of any motivation, free of agendas. Apratihata, no obstruction, consistent. Free of agenda and consistent. Ahetuki apratihata yaya atma samprasidati. What happens? Your mind, your atma, your very self will find peace. Yaya atma samprasidati. Samprasidati, you'll find great peace in this. Another beautiful verse is there. Yo mayaya santataya nuvritya bhaje tatat pada saroja gandham. With a mind which is amayaya, free of any agenda, santataya nuvritya, consistently applied. Bhajeta, please worship. Bhaje tatat pada saroja gandham. Worship the very fragrance, worship the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. These are beautiful verses that are there. So now, what is the nature of bhakti? We have seen the nature of bhakti. That bhakti is emotion, our love and affection directed towards the Supreme. It differs from worldly love because in worldly love cannot fulfill, it cannot be consistent, and it will always have conditions, agendas. Yeah? Whereas in devotion, we can have consistent love and we can be beyond any agenda. So these are two aspects. Now, what does this devotion give me? Why do I need it? Maybe I don't even need it. It sounds very nice, but I don't even know if I need it. Why? Actually said in that verse, Yayatma samprasidati, because it gives finally peace to you. This is what's going to give you peace. Other things will not give peace. Finishing projects, finishing jobs. We all think that when we finish some sort of project, we'll be very happy. When this COVID is over, we'll be very happy. We weren't happy prior to COVID. Why are we going to be happy after COVID? Yeah? So I don't know why people are so eager to get rid of COVID. We weren't happy anyway. We were all stressed out having to drive 2-hour commutes. At least that's taken off your hands now. Enjoy COVID. Let this be permanent solution to life only. We can save lots of time actually. Yeah? It's okay. What's the big deal? We'll go for some time. Yeah? But so it brings much peace. So sitting there trying to finish jobs, finishing jobs doesn't give peace. You know why? Because the minute you finish job, next job has to start. Constantly thinking what the next thing is. And it's so fascinating when you see different people at different stages in life. Each person has got some deadline that they believe. If they meet that deadline, they'll be very happy. And now you think all these children in high school, what is their deadline? Just when I get through year 12. If I get through my year 12 exams, I'll be very happy. My life will be set. Now, many of you are laughing already because you know that finishing year 12 is meaningless only. Life only starts. Responsibility starts then. You have to start thinking and making decisions for yourself. Prior to that, Amma and Appa just decided what you did. Now you actually have to start thinking about your own life and taking responsibility. So year 12 is definitely not the start of that much fun. Yeah, but they are thinking at the end of year 12, so happy. Yeah. Then they go to university. Then in university, they think, study. I'm getting bored. When I make some money, I'll be happy. When I get my job, make some money, happy. Okay, start making some money. Go get your job. So they get that job and they realize, to get this money, you have to work 9 to 5. I didn't realize you had to work so hard actually, because previously university, I went 2 days a week and I didn't even pay any attention when I went. Now, 40 hours I have to pay attention. You'll always find new graduates very tired on Friday night. 8:25 on a Friday night, they'll be sleeping. Why? Because they're so tired just from having to be awake 5 days. Because they're not used to that being awake and alert and actually applying themselves. So this is very exhausting actually. Yeah. So then they think, no, when I get promotion, I'll be happy. Okay, you start working from promotions. Then as you get promotions, they'll ask you, okay, travel here, do this, do that, more things. Your day is not 8 hours, your day becomes 14 hours only. And then you realize your friends start drifting. You can't make all the birthday parties. Social engagement. Oh, this is not much fun. And then you start feeling a bit lonely also. They feel a bit lonely. Don't have any friends and don't have special friend. Special friend is missing. Special friend. So now must go pursue special friend. You know what special friend is, I hope you know. The Radha to Krishna. That is what the special friend is. Yeah. So then I have to go seek that special friend. Then they get special friend. Oh, very happy, got special friend. Now special friend, you have to make them sign some document to say they're going to be your special friend forever. That means called marriage. Okay, so you get married, sign, witnesses must be there. Good. We are legally special friends for life now. Okay, good. Now that's also funny. Now parents think that their job is done. But it continues on. As this continues on, then you can find a house. They must have children. They must raise those children. Then you think, when the children are finished married, I'll be happy. No, just look at our own parents. Are they sitting there in moksha? Our own parents are not sitting in moksha. They are also sitting there saying something else needs to be done. What are you doing for your grandchildren? Are you teaching them these things? Are you sending them to Chinmaya mission? What school are they going to? Are you feeding them properly? Because this one looks a bit thin. Yeah, it looks a bit malnourished. So even after all this is done, our mind keeps creating projects. Which means mind does not find happiness or peace at the end of karma. That's what I'm trying to point here. Don't think that by finishing some project you have now in your head, you're going to find Shanti. Because we've already finished so many projects and we don't have Shanti. I have to think. We've already done this. We've already lived according to this belief pattern and it doesn't work. Why are we going to continue? It doesn't work, and proof is our own life only. You don't need anything else. You just look at your own life and you realize it doesn't work. So now, I cannot get peace via karma. Therefore, let me get peace via bhakti. Devotion to God. Let me find devotion to God, then I'll find that peace. Yeah. So, one reason why we need bhakti is because it will give us peace. It will deliver the happiness you want. Karma will not. Yeah. Then another reason why bhakti is so important. Because bhakti, when things are done with bhakti, things become easy. When things are done with love, you start enjoying the process instead of waiting for outcome. That's a big thing. See, when there's no love in what we do, we are doing it, but we are rushing it to get to the end. We're rushing it to get to the end. Like some people don't like washing dishes and all that. So they do it very fast and all that. And they do a bad job. And half the meal is still sitting on that dish and it gets put away. And then tomorrow you pull it out and yesterday's meal is also there with today's meal. Why? Both meals are there. Not washed properly. So it's not done with love. But when it's done with love, it's easy. You continue. Like some people love cooking because they love cooking. They're happy to keep cooking and they cook very nice. Everything done with great care and attention. All vegetables cut very small. Nice pieces. All same size. Same size. When you have a meal and that person's, all their vegetables are cut the same size, that person enjoys cooking because it requires a lot of effort to do that. Sometimes you get one in a big cauliflower piece, small cauliflower piece, and then you're eating, you're choking on this one, and you can't break that one down, and you don't know where this one is. Sometimes like that also happens. It's a bit rushed. Now, I can't cook, so I shouldn't complain about these things. But I'm just saying, these things happen. I also, when I cut like that. Just tum, tum, tum. Don't pay proper attention. So, when things are done with love, you enjoy the process. That's why if we develop love in our heart, bhakti in our heart, then we start doing our duties with devotion to God, you will enjoy your duties. Whatever that duty is, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's exercise, and done with love for God, you enjoy. So, bhakti makes life easy. There's another reason why we should have bhakti. It makes life easy and enjoyable. Now, another thing. Bhakti, its nature of being love, supreme love, it has the capacity to help us overcome all negativities. So all negativities of the mind can be overcome with this divine love. With divine love, they can be overcome. All negativities. Worldly love can overcome some negativities. It can keep some negativities just minimized, but doesn't remove them. Bhakti actually removes them. And one big one that bhakti removes is guilt. Guilt is a strong negative emotion, and bhakti can remove that. Because bhakti is basically, God says, it doesn't matter how many mistakes you have made, how terrible you have lived your life, I still love you. I still accept you. That's the only way we can overcome guilt. Someone must be so magnanimous, so benevolent to love us in spite of our mistakes. And we know in this world, some people, if that mistake is too big, we know we cannot forgive you for that. Many people are like this. I cannot forgive them for that. Yeah? That was too much. It's too much. I can't deal with it. Even mothers cannot forgive children for some things. Yeah, what the child has done is so terrible. Every time we look at that person, we will just keep on being reminded of that pain they caused, that problem, that thing they did. God says it doesn't matter what you've done. And when you read Shastra, the whole list of terrible things is there. He said, I still love you. So with love of God, love from God, then all negativity, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, bhaya, all these things gone. Yeah? Bhagavan has said that. Apichet sudurachar ho bhajate mam ananyabhak sadureva samantavyo samyak vyavasito hi saha. He says that person, achara means conduct, durachara, bad conduct, sudurachara, extremely skilled in bad conduct. This person who's a PhD in crookedness, he says even this person, so highly qualified with terrible behavior, bhajate mam ananyabhak, if he worships me, ananya bhakti, and his whole heart is with me, he said, sadureva samantavyaha, he should be considered saint. Not even manushya. He said, not even manushya. He says, sadhu. I consider that person saint. For he is committed to the path of good. So Bhagavan is so generous. Bhagavan is so generous that he is willing, eager to forgive everyone for anything. He just said, have some love for me and I will shower this grace upon you. And with this grace, you'll be lifted out of that guilt. So freedom from guilt is very important. That comes through devotion. Another negativity, anxiety. Anxiety. And therefore, devotion to God also gets rid of anxiety. What will happen? Will I be okay? Will I be taken care of? Will things be okay? Will family be okay? Will family be taken care of? What is going to happen? All these uncertainties, Bhagavan has also said, have love for me, I will take care of them. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of these things. You just think of me, I take care. Now, when Bhagavan says how will take care, will he really take care? Because my friend also said they would take care of some things for me. They never did it. So I don't know. Bhagavan is like my friend who said he'd drive me to the airport, but he never came on time and I missed my flight. So is Bhagavan like this unreliable friend? No, because Bhagavan is different. Sarva Shaktiman, Sarva Buddhiman. Which means Bhagavan has all powers and he has all knowledge. Jiva does not have all power and all knowledge. That's why Jiva cannot fulfill all our desires. He's not capable. That's why I said before, not capable. So to ask someone in my life to fulfill my every wish, it's important. They don't have that power. That power is not there. Yeah. That power is not there. They'll not be able to do it. It's like asking a 3-year-old child to carry a load of washing. The child might say, I want to help you, mommy, I want to help you, mommy, can I carry? But it cannot carry, it doesn't have the physical strength to do it. So Jiva does not have the capacity to fulfill and support us. I should say support us unfailingly. Jiva doesn't have the power, but God does. God has the power to support us unfailingly. Yeah. So in that way, it gives us reassurance. Reassurance, freedom from anxiety and stress. I am always supported and I am never abandoned. Never abandoned. Yeah? So Bhakti also gives that. Then of course, through our love for God, Bhagavan also says that those who have love for me, finally, dadami buddhi yogam tam, I give them guidance. I enlighten them. I show them the way. This is also needed. Because again, apart from guilt, apart from anxiety, confusion is the other one. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes there's no guilt, there's no there's no anxiety, but there's confusion. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. And sometimes you don't know who to turn to as well. Who is the person that can give advice? Who is the person who give guidance? And everyone who gives guidance and advice, they have got their own conditioned thinking. They have got their own limitation to their own intelligence. And therefore sometimes you feel they don't understand the whole thing. And that's why when they give advice, you're like, no, you don't fully understand. That's why we kind of pick and choose the advice we want to take. Because we don't have faith in that person. But now Bhagavan is of what nature? Sarva Buddhiman. Because he's Sarva Buddhiman, his guidance is pakka. It is perfect. Because he understands your mind. Inside out, he understands our own mind better than we understand our own mind. That's why his guidance is the best. Guidance comes in all different ways. Now, Shastras have been written. Vedas are there. They are the breath. Nishwasitam. Mahataha asya bhutasya. Word of God. It's the breath of God is the Shastra. Okay. Then we have Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. There is the Gita from Bhagavan himself only. So direct guidance is there from Bhagavan. And then through enlightened masters, saints and sages, again, we get our advice. And sometimes through intuition it comes. Yeah. So from within it comes. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. That Devi, this is prayer to Saraswati Devi. But God, who is in the hearts of all beings, as what? Buddhi Rupa, form of Buddhi only. So that Devi, Namaskar, Namaskar, Namaskar. Shraddha Rupena Samstita. In that stuti, all these things are given. So we get guidance from God. We get freedom from anxiety from God. We get freedom from guilt by having devotion. We get peace of mind. All these things come. All these things come. So now these are all the reasons, and life becomes easy. Karma becomes easy. Life becomes enjoyable. And we always feel supported and we never feel abandoned and alone. All this is coming because of bhakti. So you ask how, or you ask why have bhakti. These are all the reasons why we should have bhakti in life. Our love for God. Now last question, how to develop that bhakti? How to develop bhakti for God. We know what bhakti is, or why have it, now show how. Now, easiest way, if you want to fall in love with anyone, learn more about their life. That's it. It goes for anyone and anything, isn't it? The more you know about someone, you become fascinated with them. That's why when we meet someone and we like them, then after some time, we'll start asking, so which part of India are you from? Where were you born? And we hope that they say the same place where we come from, because then we feel, we're very connected. Only good people come from that place. See, I am proof and you are proof. So there you go. We want to know where that person is from. We want to know how many brothers and sisters they have. We want to know where they studied, what they did, when they migrated, how many children they have. All this is called that person's charitra. We are looking for that person's charitra. Now tell me your charitra. Charitra means your story. Your story. It is very fascinating. People's stories are very fascinating. When we come to know their story, we feel a lot for those people. We feel a lot. We feel very connected to those people. And so, if we want to be connected to God, then we should just know God's stories. Bhagavad Charitra. Bhagavad Charitra is simple. Just know that. Once you start reading and learning about Bhagavad Charitra, you feel very connected to God. So, Katha, Leela, Chitra, whatever you want to call it, stories of God, history of God, life of God. I mean, his avatar, when he came down, what did he do? And even in different planes, whether in Vaikunth, Golok, Saket, Kailash, wherever he is, she is. What are they doing? And the more you learn, more fascinated you become. Now, when we study Charitra, what a Charitra will give? Charitra should tell a few things. One thing Charitra will tell, obviously the stories. We call Leela. The Leela. So the stories come. Now, Charitra you find in Puranas. Okay? So, we will find this in a book called the Puranas. So, Puranas teach us about these Charitras of God. Now, apart from stories and history of God, then what else do we find? We will find the description of the form of God. It's called Rupa. Rupa. The form of God. It's like when we read a biography of someone, we want to see pictures of them, isn't it? I say they were born, then we want to see the picture when they were little children, picture with the family. There was a picture when they were in university, picture when they were married. We want to see all the pictures. They call Rupa. So what they do is you find description of Bhagavan's Rupa is given. Form. Pitambara, Padmakara, Padmahasta, Padmalochana, all these different things. Many different deep descriptions are given in different Puranas. Then we want to know Nama, names. What are the different names of Bhagavan? Yeah. Because different names also means different ways we can call out to God. Yeah. Sometimes when we meet people, we meet them and in their house they're called something else. His official name is Ramaswamy. But when you go into his house, you go, Raju! And say, who's this Raju only? No. They call me Raju in the house. They call you Raju in the house, but your name is Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy gave Raju only. And some names got no connection whatsoever with the original name. Because parents wanted to give that name, but according to that Lagna Patrika, according to the thing, it said that Akshara, his name must start with a Sa. Because his name must start with a Sa, you call him Satish. But actually, you always wanted to call him Arun. Arun was your favorite name. So in the house called Arun, his name is Satish. So this way, different namas start coming. We also have our own Ashtotra Shatanama Valli. Our children call us something, our brothers call us something, mother calls us something. Everyone got different names. So Nama, Bhagavan also got many names. So it is Krishna, Damodara. According to what's happening, Damodara means one who has got that thing. You see this murti here behind? This murti I put there today. That's Damodara. Damodara means one whose waist is time. Udara is Dhamma. His Udara, stomach, is tied. That's a Damodara. He got the name because of that. That incident called Damodara. Yeah. Govardhana Giridhari. Because he held the mountain, Govardhana Giri. He held it, Govardhana Giridhari. Because he holds the flute, Muralidhari. Because he holds flute. Yeah, these are all different names of Krishna I'm just giving. Yeah. Radha Vallabha, the beloved of Radha. Yeah. All these different names of Krishna. Nanda Kumara, Navanita Chora. You see, Nanda Kumara, son of Nanda Baba. Yeah. Navanita Chora, one who used to steal the butter. Navanit, Makan Chor. But it's a nice name, Chitta Chor, because he steals your mind. Manohara, he just captivates you. These are all beautiful names of Bhagavan. So, from Krishna, you have so many. So, different namas are there. And through this nama, through Bhagavan's nama, you come to the next part, guna. Guna means virtues. What are the virtues of Bhagavan? That's the other thing we must study. So now, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and then Dhamma. Dhamma means where he stays. Whether Golok, whether Vaikuntha. Now it depends on which form of God you feel connected to. If I am connected to Sri Krishna, then Sri Krishna abides in Golok. And when you read Brahma Vaivarta Puran, description of Golok is there. And in that, his consort is Radha. Radha is the consort there. Yeah, in that Puran. Of course, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, then of course, see, a lot of description of Vrindavan is given. Bhagavan did so many charitras in Vrindavan. So beautiful descriptions of Vrindavan in there. Then for Sri Ram, Ayodhya, and then also Saket. For Lord Shiva, Kailash. Yeah. Each one got their own Dhamma and abode. Lord Vishnu, Vaikuntha Loka. Yeah. So, in this way, we should study these elements. As we start listening to these charitras, we find out all these different aspects. We get to find out about Bhagavan's Leela. So, what he did. His Rupa, beautiful form. His Nama, his different names. His Gunas, his different virtues. Yeah, and his Dhamma, all the different places he stayed. And as you learn more and more, your mind has become more attracted to it. You just keep bombarding your mind with these things, you just become attracted. And this is also happening subconsciously only. Sometimes you are not doing anything. Oh, mind is just becoming more and more fascinated. And I know sometimes first time we hear them, some of the Puranas, like we don't understand it. What is he doing this? Why is that happening? Some of them have some references which we don't understand. You know, I was reading recently one Purana and they were talking about all the decorations and alankara of Bhagavan. I didn't understand what half of these things were because they're talking about fruits and flowers which I never even heard of. You know, so some of these things you don't quite know. And when you read in English, it's very funny, some of the descriptions given. But you know, you keep going with it. You keep going with it. And it subconsciously seeps into you. And then you do become fascinated with it later on. You do become very fascinated. But at the start, sometimes you don't quite understand it. And that's the same with people, is it not? You know, sometimes we like someone and we like them very much, and then, you know, we may have a meal with them and we see how they eat, and then we say, what does the person eat like this only? And sometimes they eat in a very bizarre way, and then we say, oh, this is a funny way, you know. Actually, when we eat, we should eat roti with sabji, and then you must have rice and dal later. Why did you combine the whole thing and stick into your mouth? And then we get a little bit, I don't know. So initially a little bit disturbed. Then later on you spend time with that person, and you say, you know, you become very fascinated. That's their unique method of doing things, you know. That's their style. Their style is like that.